All right, my 9-year-old sister Grace was adopted, and we didn't get her until she was fluent in Vietnamese and 3 years old. So she's had a bit of a struggle learning how to read. In fact, now she almost connotates books with frustration. I never see her just picking up a story and reading it for a couple hours. In fact, I don't really see any kids doing that these days. And this is exactly the problem that Reimaginate is seeking to fix by asking the question, what if there was a way to integrate a love for technology with reading? In a survey conducted of parents of children aged 5 to 8, we have found that children in that age category spend twice as much time on technological devices as they do reading. Our solution is to create a choose-your-own-adventure style storybook program to capitalize on that taste for technology while still providing all the positive benefits of traditional reading. After this was described to parents, 93% said that they would want to share an adventure like this with their child. Now, I would love to show you guys the demo, but this is Choose Your Own Adventure. So would you like to go home or play the demo? Play the demo! Yeah, well, go home is disabled anyway, so. All right, so the character that we created this weekend's name is Sam. Sam travels through time in his time machine, which is pictured on the screen. And the story we created was him going to the medieval ages. As you can see, the children go through this story and are faced with different questions, different options, the choices that they want to make. Here he can choose to knock on the castle or go exploring. When he talks to the king and finds out there's a fearsome dragon plaguing the land, he can choose to save the princess or go exploring. I think we can guess which one he's going to do, because you have to save the princess. The style that we're going for is a really traditional storybook feel because we really want to capitalize on the engagement and that this will bring to children while still giving all that feel of traditional reading. This is going to be engaging for the kids because the story is different every time based on the choices that they make. And it also keeps parents from having to read that same storybook 10,000 times. Sam, of course, finds out that the dragon was just lonely and wanted a friend. Yeah. All right, so moving on, we have the value proposition that we're looking at. We're trying to solve for the value proposition. The more obvious side is the increased educational benefits that come from kids simply reading more. But an undertone to that is the fact that what is really needed in education today is parental involvement. As Vice President Colleen Hannigan said, the most important thing in elementary education is parental involvement. And so what we are doing is, while the programs are easily completable by a child, we're providing a unique opportunity for parents to go on this adventure and experience this with their child. Go through the different steps, the different options, talk about them, and have a unique experience. Our unique selling proposition, how we're going to differentiate ourselves from the current market offerings and stay competitive, is the fact that we are targeting a completely unique market range. The only choose-your-own-adventure technology out there currently is very hyper-complicated and targeted at teens and young adults, such as Dragon Choice. We are looking specifically at the 5 to 8-year-old range, built in a traditional style, which is very different from the usual cartoon, loud, garish video games that are available for kids in that age range. When we look at the market data, we can see that this is primed right now for the release of this product. 80% of the top-selling apps on iTunes are educational-based, and apps for kids have grown 23% in the last year. In fact, by 2017, the market projection for our particular demographic is $1.6 billion. The market is ready now. The market was actually ready 5 years ago. So right now, the revenue model that we're looking at is based on the fact that, according to our survey, these parents have spent on average more than $10 in the past 6 months on educational apps for their children. So we're going to be capitalizing on that and offering a free trial version so they can try out the stories, see if they like it, make sure their kids want to participate, and then they have the option to buy more stories individually or subscribe for a story per month option. Scaling falls into 3 distinct phases. We're going to have a direct consumer selling process to validate our model, and then we'll move into launching our author portal, which we will utilize to create multiple stories, and we'll pilot test that by partnering with different schools, leading us into the final stage where we use our platform to make that authoring tool available for small-time publishers. All right, so the validation that we've gotten from customers has been incredibly positive. We actually had 2 of our team members hit the streets today, show off our product to parents and kids, and these are just some of the reactions we got. Even Evelyn really loves it, and we had over 10 parents consider buying it just as is. So we are really excited about this project, and I think it's going to be awesome because in a technologically complex world, you should choose an elegant solution. You should choose education and imagination. Thank you.
Hey guys. So this is a really interesting idea, but it relies a lot on content, and in particular, content for kids, which tends to take a lot of development. What's your plan for building a robust library that people can come back to over and over again?
Right. Well, in the first stage, we're planning on bringing on to our team someone who specializes in that area. Actually, I've already a couple of people I've talked to who are interested. And so setting it up for that first phase, just having a few stories to really get that market sustainable and get those people interested in that kind of oomph behind it. And then afterwards, we will be utilizing the author portal to partner with small publishers and self-publishers, because with the amount of blogs that are out there and people self-publishing, I think this is just the right time for something like this to partner with the more small time.
So quick follow-up. So how will you make sure that all of the content in that case, particularly in the self-publishing, is validated for kids and has educational value?
Right. Well, we will be heavily curating. Nothing will go up that we haven't gone through and tested and everything, because each story has so many different endings and so many different branches that we couldn't show you in just a minute demonstration. We're not going to need several hundred stories. We'd need maybe 10 or 20 to have almost endless opportunities for the children. And because it'll be updating on a regular basis, it's more about adding slowly, which is going to be easy to curate.
In your presentation, you stressed the importance of parental involvement. Can you talk a little bit about that aspect of this, and how are you going to build that out?
Right. Well, although it is, of course, it's an option for kids to go through these programs on their own, we have a couple of parents on our team who I think can speak to how great it would be to be able to go through something like this with their child.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I do with my kid every day, is read with them. And something like this would be astronomical.
So I know there are tons of books, either hard copy or digital. So you have a lot of competition, and your competitive advantage, the advantage you have over your competitors, is great. But how do you plan to publicize your business in order to get that those fundings to Upstart?
Well, currently, just by word of mouth over the past 24 hours, we've had more than 10 parents express interest in purchasing something like this. I'm incredibly plugged into the homeschooling community, and I know what a big network that can be. And I know that there are so many different parent groups and people who just come together and share resources. And so we'd be primarily using word of mouth, because the people that parents trust most are other parents. And so we'd really want to utilize that, and that's how we would initially spread the business.